when we first talk with someone, we ask them a lot of questions, and quite often they're not doing, you're talking about conversions. They're not even doing that not even tracking that stuff. They don't, they might have one phone number stuck up on their website, but that phone number's also on the side of their vans. That same phone number's also on some Yellow Pages ad. It's on some Google ad. So how the hell do you know where that call came from? So they're not tracking that initially. Then when they get that call, they're not tracking the conversion rate of, okay, that call come in, I've had 10 calls, I converted 4 of them. So 40% conversion rate. They're not tracking that. And when they get the 40% there and they're going out and trying to win the paid invoice, they're not tracking that conversion rate. So if they're not tracking all those damn things, how are they going to know which area is the one to focus on to improve? And a lot of this stuff gets overcomplicated, but it really is, with those KPIs sort of thing, it's that simple. If you, like I said, if you're getting 10 calls and you're converting 4 of them, how do we get it to 5? How do we get it to 6? And then of those, 5 or 6 that we've converted into a job booking, how do we change, 50% of them or 70% of them, 80% of them into paid invoices? And it all of it starts right from when someone phones in. If you build up a right expectation on the phone, then that the person that goes out to complete the job in a tradies, using a tradies as an example, if they back up what's said over the phone, he's more likely to convert it into a paid invoice. And then once you've got those customers, okay, how many of those do I turn into repeat customers? And I worked closely with one of the largest trades businesses up in Brisbane for a little while, and they were, from memory, about 82% repeat customers. And that sort of, went up and down depending on their aggressiveness in getting new leads at the time. So it might go down to 70% and then back up. And the way those existing customers keep coming back is by people keeping in touch with them, and not by something that's ad hoc or unplanned. It's by having a system in place where at the very base level, your customers are at least getting touched once a month, So it's just say, hey, Freddie, we're here when you need us. It's not like you're trying to ram a bunch of salesy stuff down their throat. It's just tapping them on the shoulder, letting them know that you're there. Because the reality is, though, a lot of your customers aren't going to use you more than once a year, depending on what line of business you're in, obviously. If it's an electrician, that might be once a year, might be once every couple of years, might be once every 3 years. But if you're not the one that's in front of them, they're not going to come back to you unless they're just lucky enough to pull your fridge magnet off the fridge. Well, I hope that sort of answered you a bit there.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks, Brent. So repeat business is obviously one of the keys to I guess, increased conversion rates. You're more likely to convert a job with someone you've dealt with before. So in terms of getting that repeat business to come back, in terms of getting those customers to keep returning to you, get that loyalty base going, what are the fundamental pieces to getting that happening?
Well, number one, just to do it and be consistent. Like I said, just that monthly touch point. A lot of people, will have a go, but they're not consistent. It's with anything, you've got to be consistent. And then you also have in place on the back of that referral type gathering. So you're constantly trying to get reviews and testimonials and plant the seed for referrals with those existing customers, so they end up being, walking, talking adverts for your business. And with the repeat customers, they it doesn't even have to be just digital, with these guys. Like Some people we're working with, we've just automated the process of sending thank you cards out at the end of each job. And another one's thank you letters. Another one's where they spend over a certain amount and there's this fulfillment happens in the background where they get a bottle of wine. You know, it's all these little pieces like that where you're just constantly tapping them on the shoulder. I mean, for Richard and Bridget there, just recently we did an SMS campaign, and it was purely designed because of this COVID thing, right? Just to, again, tap their customer base on the shoulder. It was non-salesy. It was just this is a courtesy message to let you know that we're still available for emergency services, blah, 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 blah. And it was that simple. And they got a couple of jobs out of it. And they didn't get really any bad feedback from sending it out. It was like I said, it was a courtesy type thing. So it's all these little pieces rather than just one thing that helps keep those customers close instead of thinking of competitors. And you probably all know repeat customers, they're the ones that spend the most along with referrals. So that's the sort of stuff you want to grab, because your credibility is already established with your customer, and with referrals, the credibility is all you've piggybacked, you know, off an existing customer that person has been referred. The credibility is also there, not quite at the level of a repeat customer, but it's pretty damn close. I think, yeah, it's more having a lot of things in place to keep those existing customers in front of you rather than just one type of thing.